तो भाई का कितना लैग करता है
ये बुआ उतरा भी उरे सब जगह जन जगह भल लागु
Form up on me.
अरे तमे उतरा हां मार देली कोनो का करची
Okay. I'm really sorry. Hello. अबे बीच वाले में मत उतार I got supplies. Form up on me.
हेलो भाई, सब प्रेस कर दे, नहीं तो मैं भाई से वो ग्रेनेड मारूंगा।
ले भाई ले
प्रेस
ले
कर दे दे भाई कुछ सब,
ले 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 ले
नहीं तो गोली मारूंगा।
ले भाई खाना इनके देगा भाई खाना इनके देगा
भाई प्लेयर गन चला रहा हूँ, रुक जा।
अबे भाई जोन का बाहर है, मत चला जोन का बाहर है, गाड़ी आएगा। अबे लो, अरे पागल गाड़ी आएगा, क्यों चला दिया भाई? खाना इनके देना पागल गाड़ी आएगा नहीं।
दो नंबर
अबे ड्रॉप नहीं आएगा भाई। क्या आया, ड्रॉप आया कि गाड़ी आया? जोन में जाना है। गाड़ी भाई मेरे पास आ, रुक मैं आ रहा हूँ। गाड़ी क्या गाड़ी अच्छी जानते हैं, गाड़ी उड़ा दूंगा हाँ भैया गाड़ी में जो पूरा है उसी में हाँ भैया गाड़ी में
लाइक कर मुझे यार, मुझे
भाई चलो ना, तू मारना
कोई कर लाइक कर। अरे यार लाइक मुझे करने दे।
चलो अब कर रहा हूँ। ब्रिज से जाना पड़ेगा। ब्रिज कहाँ? भाई ड्राइव करेगा। ऐसे तो गई गई
कोई कोचिंग की कमी है।
बग्गी नहीं लग बग्गी रखूंगा, इसमें गोली अंदर नहीं आएगा। देखा
हेलो हेलो
अरे कोचिंग की कॉल
ठीक है जी। आ गया भाई पोचंकी तुम्हारा। रुको थोड़ा साइड में रोकते हैं। पोचंकी में ढुकाएंगे तो नहीं। आगे आगे साइड में। हाँ भाई रोक दे, एग्जिट कर एग्जिट कर एग्जिट कर। चल घर में चल। भाई चल गाड़ी लेके चल भाई। हाँ भैया गाड़ी में। अरे भाई गाड़ी में आ।
Enemies ahead.
भाई हैकर है क्या? भाई हेल्प। अरे हैकर था क्या? भाई बचा ले भाई। अरे भाई बचा। आएगा नहीं बे। अरे वो लोग पीछे ही है। अलग कैसा टीममेट है भाई। अरे भाई मैं मर गया, बचा ले। अरे भाई बचा। अरे भाई हेल्प। कैसा है भाई, बचाया नहीं। अबे बचाया क्यों नहीं बेलोल?
अरे यार अटक गया।
अटक गया। बड़ा नूब है बात।
भाई रुको एक जगह पर। अरे क्या हो गया क्या हो गया?
Distance in the back opens right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally here. The PUBG Mobile Club Open Global Final Preliminaries. We've had the regional qualifiers, we've had the regional finals, and now 5 of the teams in this competition will be making their way over to the global finals next week. Of course, a massive thank you to our title sponsor Vivo for providing the players with the next series, the official smartphone of the PMCO 2019 Global Finals. But without further ado, let's swing things on over to our casters and let's play some PUBG Mobile.
And hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute pleasure to be here today for the PUBG Mobile Club Open Spring Split Prelim Finals here in Berlin. It's an absolutely beautiful day, but just about to get that little bit better as PUBG Mobile action is about to come your way. His name is Imperium.
He's Maxman.
Let's go. Don't let me hang in. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
just awesome stuff coming up, Imperium.
Yeah, so we have 15 teams from all around the world, 2 days, 12 games, top 5 spots up for grabs. It's going to get really spicy, really tasty. Of course, we're going to go through a lot in terms of what teams are really going to be looking stronger. We're going to see all the action unfold and get a far better idea of what teams are kind of more likely going to qualify. But right now, I feel that every single team are on an even playing field.
Every single team on a even playing field, but those are for the teams that are here, as unfortunately we did have a little bit unfortunate news coming our way today. The team from Hell, which is a European team, was not able to show up to today, so we will not be seeing them.
Nope.
Unfortunately, also an extra piece of information. Also, a lot of info coming your way. Be careful, guys. Note it down. 2 Indian teams, they cannot be here, unfortunately. So they are playing from a studio in India. They got their nice little cozy studio, which they are playing from, and they will be playing with us, even if they're not here physically. They are here mentally.
If they're not here in person, they're here spiritually, so to speak.
And they will smash.
Yeah, and they will smash. So we do see 6 games today. There's a lot of action. There's a lot of really kind of mental fortitude that's really going to have to be featured. Starting off with Sandhawk, Maxman.
Sandhawk, one of the most aggressive maps, I can say. Like, if you're not careful early on, you're going to have a really hard time. We just had a preparation match which just happened on Sandhawk. It was taken by Team Secret, so they seem ready to destroy every single enemy they come against in this first game. But then Erangel, Miramar, Erangel, Vikendi, and Erangel once again. A lot of Erangel. It started with Erangel. That's what started PUBG, and you can have so much more action. We did the wild card. Erangel is just where everything happens and where true legends are made.
It just never failed to disappoint. It never failed to really...
Never fails to disappoint.
Never failed to disappoint. But you see the points placement and the rules for the preliminary finals for you guys, of course. That magical first place chicken dinner gets you 30 points, going down 22-19 and so on and so forth.
Yeah, if you have been watching other series of the PMCO, you are pretty familiar with the rules. And kills, even though it's not a high amount of points, they can end up being extremely impactful. We did the wildcard once again. I'm going to flex that a lot during the broadcast. Kills can make you take a high position, take the high ground, and take that chicken dinner in a lot of scenarios, and just get that high amount of points. Kills must not be overlooked.
No, 100%. No, I totally agree. And some teams will definitely, and most of the teams will focus on that placement point. But if you can get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 kills for your side while still ending in 10th place or higher, it's really going to help yourself from this side. But these are the teams that are being featured in the game today.
Work out like that once again from hell. They are not here today, so just tick them off right off the bat. Also, one team that I think a lot of eyes are focused on Imperium. We've been asking the teams which teams you might think might take the win, or you're a little bit scared of.
Yeah.
And it all came down to X-Quest or X-Quest F, and this is one scary hell of a team, and I'm really hyped to see what they're going to offer us as gameplay today.
On their regional finals, getting to this spot, we saw that their points average or kill points averages, it's one of the highest we have in the tournament. And as you correctly said, the teams that we talked to, the players that we talked to, they are definitely fearing the side of X-Quest F the most. But I think there's a lot of teams that will surprise us coming here. A lot of teams that have come from I wouldn't say hard times, but they've really had to battle their way to get to this point, and they're humbled to be here, and they're ready to prove it on stage, and of course hopefully qualify for the globals.
One team that battled a lot actually to come to this prelim finals in Berlin, Imperium, and that is a team that you think is going to be a little bit the dark horse. We were talking about that earlier. It's Team Kesso. That was prior to being acquired by Team Kesso for this tournament. They were called Brazilian Crusaders.
Yeah.
And they are a team that have been battling with a lag, with phones that were a little bit having issues. And being acquired by Team Kesso, they just give them that little extra notch of performance, and that might just be what they needed to, dominate in the global stage, and just take those chicken home and just try and dominate once again the entire scene.
Yeah, I was talking to the team actually quite a lot yesterday. Couldn't help but give a lot of time to them, especially because the team manager spoke fantastic English. Marco, who's the long-haired guy you see on our left-hand side, he's the in-game leader. They have a lot of knowledge as a team. Axel is, look out for him when it comes to fragging, when it comes to really pulling out those kills, because he's the most aggressive player on the team. And then Mystical, he's known as a magic man. So absolutely fantastic budget team. But we're seeing XQF, all Rejection Gaming, they all have a chance. It's an open playing field.
Yeah, those Asian teams are here to try and just take as much as they possibly can. I think the Chinese meta, like Asian meta in general, like Korea, China, Japan, they are potentially going to be really high in the scoreboards. But once again, you have kind of playstyles for everywhere in the world. You have people from Middle East, CA, you got EU, you got NA, you got India, you got absolutely everything. And this is a clash of the meta.
Я представляю команду Дюфора Медитая 99, и мы из России. Для нас этот турнир очень важен. Это наш первый крупный ивент, особенно офлайн. Мы хотим показать весь свой максимум. Если бы нужно было описать команду одним словом, я бы сказал, что это слово «труд». Мы всегда много старались, всегда готовились к турнирам, много работали над собой, и я думаю, это дало результат. Я приехал с 4 замечательными тиммейтами, я их знаю около полугода. Мы играли вместе еще давно, и в итоге собрали команду, которая сейчас добивается хороших результатов. Это очень удобно играть на телефоне, потому что можешь везде взять с собой, где угодно сесть, поиграть. Вот это тактический шутер, там требуется как умение стрелять, так и умение думать. Я думаю, что главная составляющая этого турнира — это тактическая, то есть нужно грамотно готовиться к оппонентам, правильно принимать решения. На самом деле мы не берем кого-то конкретных соперников на турнире. Я думаю, что главный соперник — это мы сами. Мы виновники всех наших и неудач, и успехов. Я думаю, что нужно больше сосредоточиться на своей игре и добиться того, чего мы достойны. Пусть будут достойны. Все мы тут оказались не случайно, и я думаю, что это интересное противостояние.
And here it is. That was Team Deformia's spotlight. Deformia's spotlight. So I didn't say that right, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell was that? But Team Deformia, we talked to them a little bit in Imperium before the broadcast, and they are extremely confident. I asked them, is there a team that you are a little bit scared of? And a lot of people said Team X-Quest F. They said nobody.
Yeah, they're not
like the badass they are.
They're not scared of anybody. And again, I've really gotten to know the team and the players a bit over the last day or so, in terms of rehearsals and just getting everything ready. And David, the org owner, he's so positive and so humble to be here as well, and they're ready to challenge. And even though when I was looking and doing a bit of research into overall kind of standings of their own regions, and when I put them all together, they're not looking the strongest, but I know that they're ready to step up to the play here. They have a lot of confidence. They're a team that really, in my opinion, are going to be able to work together to pull out those strong performances.
Yeah, talking about working together, like synergy going to be really, really important, because also Deformia, they have been doing a 2-month boot camp in Moscow before this tournament. And what brings you a boot camp is absolutely insane in the environment of esport. A boot camp is so much more important. It can be the difference between a loss and a win, just having that extra piece of communication, knowing your team a little bit, like just a little bit better. So I think that's going to be able to bring them a lot in this tournament. And just once again, their play style is going to be really synergy focused, which might not be the case of maybe some NA teams which has a different kind of meta of like playing very solo, very aggressive, very like they got big egos, so they're gonna have to maybe let that one go a little bit. Okay.
Well, yeah, like we know that NA they want to be the best, but they want to be the best individually, right? They want to be able to frag out. They want to be able to turn around and say at the end, I got 7 kills, I got 8 kills, I got 9 kills. But when this is a squad game, I don't get that many kills, so leave me alone. And when this is a squad game, it's all about sticking together as a 4-man team, right? It's all about really kind of pulling your own talents together individually, put it down onto the battlefield as a team, and make sure that when it comes to the end of the game, you're a 4-man squad and you're able to wipe out the remaining couple of teams and get that chicken dinner.
As we are flying over Omen Elite, just a little piece of extra information for you guys out there. If you were watching the NA PMCO stage,
of course.
They were also referred to as Lights Out beforehand. They did now change, so now it is Omen's Elite. And you know that Powerbank is looking over them right now and just hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Best of luck for them and the NA teams. And once again, they got to try and pull off that synergy and try and really step it up.
Here's the other thing. The thing that might potentially go against Omen's way is that one of the players on the original roster wasn't able to make it. I believe that's Outsider. So they had Zute, who's fantastic, the experience of the game. A lot of knowledge behind his belt. He is joining the team on this journey. But the negative for that is, are they as synergistic as a team? Have they really kind of been able to put that together compared to the likes of the Formula, compared to the likes of X-Quest, who've been playing together for 4, 5, 6 months or beyond? So that's something that they are really going to have to be aware of.
Because for a lot of these teams, actually, like this is one of the first major mobile gaming, not even PUBG Mobile, but like mobile gaming events in the world. One of the biggest ones so far. It was the biggest cash prize, once again, total of $2.5 million US. And one thing that's really interesting is that these teams, this is for a lot of the teams the first time they actually show up here. And it's going to be really nice to see the stories and the bonds created between all these teams and these players, because at the end we're just a big family in esport and we're just having one hell of a good time.
We know that there's a team that there can always be a team that can have a live buff, as we call it, Maxman, where in a live event situation, they are able just to pull it all together.
Yeah, pull it all together. It's going to come down to this, Imperium, as Game 1 on Sanhok of the PMCO prelim final is just about to kick off. Ladies and gentlemen, get yourself ready, get in your seats, and some action is coming your way. Get ready.
Welcome to the jungle, Maxman. We've got fun and games. This is it. So it's going to be interesting because we talk about all the different metas going to be coming together, and all these teams have their drop spots that they love to drop, they love to kind of land in, right? And when you have different teams from different metas that might like to land in the same area, are they going to do that? Are they going to fight over this early game compound compared to, let's say, waiting for late game?
Yeah, they're going to try and keep that in focus, but this plane is very central, so already the map is extremely small for Sanhok. You can drop basically anywhere. So if you have a favorite spot, you can just drop to it pretty easily. And I'm seeing a few of the teams seeming to go for boot camp, but I think they saw this a lot of teams towards boot camp. So maybe want to avoid an early game fight because once again, PUBG, that's what you're trying to see in terms of playstyle. Avoid early game skirmishes, get to the late game, and you should be good to go.
So of course, Sanhok is a smaller map, so generally the circle is always going to be somewhat central. What is very interesting for me, Maxon, is that you only have one team on the east side of the circle, and that is Pittsburgh Knights, PK.
Yeah, they just don't want to fight whatsoever. They're just taking their time. So you're talking about Pittsburgh. I'm going to be checking out Quest F. They went right for boot camp. We talked about Quest F as this beast of a team. They are really dominant and really confident in this tournament, and they're going for boot camp, one of the most aggressive early game stages of Sanhok map. So I'm expecting a little bit of an early skirmish coming out from this team because there were two teams dropping there. I didn't see the second team. I know that there will be early clashes, and that's what you see a lot of the time, even in an esport tournament for Sanhok, is just there are not that many drop locations to share.
You're dead right, as you do see top esports. Sorry, not top esports. There's two teams at top. Yeah. I know, two top teams. They have a really good spot on the far west side. The reason why I say it's a good spot is because what we could see some of these teams doing that are on the edge of the circle is that with a lot of teams dropping west that they would have seen when they got out of the plane, they would have been communicating, look around them, is that you could see a couple of these teams waiting until the blue zone kind of closes in on phase 1, and they'll actually go into the circle through the blue zone. So they'll be able to essentially avoid a lot of the action.
Yeah, just get a really good positioning for the next stage. That's good. But yeah, as I said, there were two teams dropping on boot camp, and that was also Team Kurd Squad coming to you live from Middle East. And
they're coming live from
they come over. They come over from the Middle East area. And Quest F actually going to be leaving boot camp over. They didn't have the central building. That's a really important location in boot camp. If you have that, you have the high ground. Everyone knows how important that location is, so if you don't have it, just let it go to another position, and you should be just able to get a little bit more farm and trying to get yourself pretty well looted for the mid-stage game.
Oh man, Team Queso, they've gone out of where they were. They were going up against the side of Team Ind, one of the Indian teams, one of the two Indian teams, and when I was talking to Team Queso, Max, one of the things that they highlighted to me that they were very proud of is that not only are they representing the South American region, not only are they representing themselves and Queso, they feel that they are representing also the whole of Spanish communities, Latin America, because they are the only Spanish-speaking team here, and they take that on their hearts. They hold it high, and they're ready to perform here.
And you're talking about them representing all the Spanish players, because mobile gaming in Spain and for Spanish community is so important. But also one extra thing is normally we have two European teams, and now we do not have that. We only have the Formula Meditari 99. So they are also having a lot on their shoulders today as they have to represent all of Europe in this tournament to try and make it into the top 5 teams to go over. As we have an early game clash happening between Team Secret and Top. And Top going to be having AKM down for the time being. With an AKM, how bad does that feel? And he's going to get flushed away, and nicely done. Team Secret getting the first kill right now.
That's a good start. It's only been less than 5 minutes, and we've already seen one kill. And that's the thing. Overall, what we expect is that we're seeing somewhat passive gameplay. We're seeing these teams just doing what they need to do themselves, while still getting on through into the next phase. And one thing that we just saw All Rejection Gaming do, it's a little thing, but it can make a difference, is when you're going over the bridge, you have 2 teams go on the bridge, two players go on the bridge, 2 players go underneath the bridge. It means that if they do happen to get caught out from anywhere on any bridge, they have a safety net. It's a little thing, but when they implement it on the small moments, when it comes to bigger moments, it's going to pay off.
Yeah, when you have those split moments, it can work out. You see, it didn't happen with Top. They had one that was split, got taken out away, so then you have 3 members this early on in the game, especially on Sanhok. That is going to come and bite you right back where I'm thinking of in the next stage, so they've got to be very cautious. As right now, be careful. No, the Monster Shield of Bixia is going to be shot down in the distance with the M16 by Paraboy. And might be in a bad spot, but it seems like XQuest they really can't do much, so that's going to be 1 regen instantly. They do not have the high ground, they can't really push up against Nova Monster Shield, so they're just going to be winning a little bit more time. They did use utility there, that's completely fine, I understand, just especially if you saw on the kill board, that is XQuest you want to put everything to try and avoid fighting them this early on, because once again, if I was playing, I would just avoid them. I would do research on that team, see where they drop, and avoid that at all costs.
Yeah, of course. But then again, you got to play your own game. And one thing that, even though a lot of teams are going to be playing for late game, they're going to be just playing the rotational game. One thing that we need to mention is you've got that mental ability, and you've got that kind of you want to pull off some form of a aura on your side, that if you do go up against a team, that you're not going to be the ones to back off, that you are going to fight against them. And if you give control over another team, you might actually be in a better chance of winning it. But if you give control over to that team mentally, there's a higher chance they're going to come out on top, because they feel more confident going into that situation.
Yeah, mental pressure is so important in a game like PUBG, so you've got to try and definitely take that into account. We're going to see now Purple Mood on the move. Going to have multiple casts. Thank you so much. We were watching we casted the wild card once again with Flex. Okay, so many teams died by having 4 members in one car. The car blows up or drives in a tree, which happens a lot of the time for me and Imperium in our games. But and it just feels nice, you know. You're expecting that this level of play, you just split your cars.
It's something I've kind of realized. I don't think there's a more a sadder way of dying than in a car.
Especially
to be honest.
In an event. Like, you turn back, you're like, what did you just do?
Yeah. Now, we talk about wildcard region and the fact that we casted it again, another weird flex. RG Star Team, we've seen the journey they've pulled through in the group stage and the semi-final. They were definitely one of the top teams, but in regionals, they did start off a little bit weaker. They didn't have the strongest of starts, and when they did come out in second, it kind of surprised us, because it came out of nowhere in game 2 of the regionals.
Yeah, it was day and night in Imperium, because we saw, like, once again, like, the early stages not doing too well, not getting out of the pack. But after that, they were just pulling 1v4 clutches, taking chicken dinners, and the Chinese metal was really showing up at that point, and just, that's why they're here, they deserve it.
You talk about chicken dinners, they're actually the team with the most chicken dinners out of all teams here. They got 3 chicken dinners in the regional finals. It's going to come down to consistency, and they don't have the strongest. They had near enough the strongest when it comes to points consistency in the regional final games, but not the absolute strongest. So there's no point in getting all of the chicken dinners if every game in between you're coming in 16th, 15th, and 14th, and so on.
I think we're talking a lot about RG because we've got a soft spot for RG because we followed their adventures. We're going to try and like move a little bit away as we do move over to Top Esports. So Top Esports, they come to you live from China. Then we got also Team Top that comes to you live from Korea. So this is TES Top Esports, just for you guys' information at home. And they're just going to be prone on the top of the mountain. Once again, high ground so important on Sanhok. You want to try and set yourself up in these locations ASAP, which are doing pretty easily. And Team Secret, they got a kill earlier. Once again, on the move. Like, you're expecting that, once again, as I said, really passive early game. What you can expect in the early game is dad jokes from me and Imperium. And late game, just us just screaming our heads out when there's more fights.
Of course. Hey, it's what we've come to know and love out of our own casting. But either way, as we personally have an overview of the map and the circle and where these teams are. There's a cluster of teams in the center, so they are really fighting for the center zone based on hopefully that it's going to be somewhat of a boot camp finish. You do see, as far as I know, it's Kurd squad are in boot camp on their own, and then you have a lot of teams around them.
Yeah, got a lot of teams. One team that seems like they're in a really good spot is X-Quest Def. Like, they got legit 5 teams around them, and they are getting surrounded. Next circle is going to be very, like, determined. If it's on the side and they have to shift, a lot of teams are going to die early on. If it's focused on boot camp, you have a lot of teams already there. One thing that I really see, actually, on the oh, be careful, AWM, on the roof. I mean, if you can get it, go for it, but there are tricks to get on the roof pretty easily. I forgot my thought. Goddamn.
It's okay.
Feels bad, man.
Sorry, man. So we do see circle phase 2. It's gone a little bit down towards the east, southeast side of the map. What that is going to do is that I feel that is going to drive a few of these teams down toward the south side. Top Esports are looking in a decent position. They're holding the dead center. Team Queso, we know that they love to hold the edge of the circle. They always rotate towards the edge of the circle. They want to play super safe and just have a good vision of the teams around them.
That's the same kind of playstyle for Team Secret. They always play edge of the circle. Yeah. That's what we saw when we were doing our VOD reviews. And it's going to be interesting to see these clash of different metas. And I was about to say, I got my thought back. There are so many teams coming to life from like Asia in general, and Asia meta is very focused on getting the center of the circle as soon as possible, so you don't have to shift too much on the next circle. And one thing, you have so many Asian teams. That's why you have a big cluster of teams in the dead center. All the Chinese teams are in the center almost. There's a bunch of Indian teams. So that's going to be really interesting to see how this is going to work out on the long game. But still, no extra kills. As I say that, AM Lock is going to be put down on the side of the RB starting, going to be losing 2 members and not looking too good right now. Oh no, they're going to be clashing back.
It wasn't Outsider, it was Lucifer that couldn't make it. My humble apologies. So yeah, Outsider is here. As you do see, Outsider did get a return knockdown. So hopefully we can get a bit of an idea of how that engagement is going for these two teams. But it seems like it's been somewhat of an even trade for now.
Well, we did lose 3 extra players. We were at 59, now we're down at 56. That's not looking good. We cast a curse Imperium. We were talking so well about RG starting, but now unfortunately they're not really going up to the level of play we were expecting. But let's hope they can try and come back from that misadventure. And there's still like maybe a compound breach will be coming soon from Nova Monster Shield. And they are an official like Nova eSport team, just so you guys know.
One thing though, the reason why Nova can't push onto that compound is because they're just not close enough right now. We see Team Ind. The positive for them is that they are all in that one building, but the negative is all it's going to take is 1 or 2 nades being thrown in through the windows, and they are going to be heavily exposed. They're going to have to reposition super quickly. So if they recognize that, if Nova Monster Shield can get any more of an intel that they are inside that one building, I would be not surprised if the nades come flying and we see some form of a mini red zone, so to speak.
Yeah, we saw also like a proper angle there. So as you mentioned, like Nova Monster Shield, they're a little bit too split. They're coming like charging right now, and you can see that all the members in the house, they have like 4 angles of fire. So literally, almost nobody can breach it unless once again a good cook grenade can make the work and shut them down. We are now just 30 minutes. I was going to say 30 minutes into the game. Phase 2 circle still closing up. And just still not too much going on, which is really nice to see because this is also Sandhawk. So a really passive early game on Sandhawk, that is not too common.
Not too bad indeed. So ultimately, yeah, they did lose Outsider, so he is down for the rest of this team. But hopefully, he'll be still providing that live support, live bus support to the rest of his team. We see Azute, as I said, had joined the team as Lucifer couldn't make it for this event. So hopefully. With him still being alive, with the rest of other team members, that they'll be able to really pull out something strong as we are going to get into this next phase in the next minute or so.
Next phase coming up, and also just so you guys know, we are actually in the 3rd-person view. So one really good thing about like compound protection is you do not have to give your location away. Just put yourself a little bit shifted against that window. They don't have to spot you. They have no information, and if they go in like not known as a team there, you can actually get the surprise factor, and that is so important in PUBG. So 3rd person when you're defending the compound is so good. As the next shift is going to be on Paradise Resort, and now we're going to see some blood.
Oh man, I'm dancing in my seat right now, Max, and I love that because we saw most of the teams were in the south side of that circle. Oh, no. The huge shift north, they're going to have to go through boot camp. They're going to have to go into Paradise Resort. We we are going to start to see these teams clash together. And you do mention TPP. Snaking is going to become a big part of the late stage moments of the game. You're going to see those final players, those final teams look to implement that third person advantage as RG and Omen Elite are coming closer together. But Team Top and Team Secret also getting close together.
Yeah, they're gonna have to be careful though. The circle is closing up, and now, as we said, just a few seconds after, it's starting to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Purple Moon's gonna be flashing back and forth with Top Esports, but he does not quite have the angle. They did get a knockdown on Fireboy. He is in the compound. He's gonna get region back up. He is good for the time being. It seemed like Purple Moon, they don't want to pick that fight. They were in the open. If they get 3-man party, that is the end of them. So just playing it really safe, I can respect that.
And all the while, we are seeing XQF starting to light up the kill feed right now, taking out a couple of members of Kurd squad. But yeah, Fireboy did manage to get revived. And that's really important, because if you can stay together as a 4-man squad for as long as possible, getting that revive, it's going to put you in a much stronger position going into the later parts of the game, going into phase 4, phase 5, Maxman.
Yeah, we have to try and keep that in mind. Checking out a little bit what's going on.
Oh, is he going to come from behind?
Nah, seems like we're just chill. Oh, be careful, Xiaotian and AK. They are just prone. You just talked about snaking.
Yep.
And it seems like Zute,
he has no idea.
The information. He knows what's going on. He's just like, am I going to take the risk? Do I know his RG star team? Do I know how many members there are? Can I pull off the 1v2 clutch? But he doesn't even know there are 2 members. Like, so you're going to have to be very careful. He does have the info. That's going to be a grenade. Out.
Great job, Kunev and Zute. You call him the Snake Whisperer. That's what I'm going to call him. I'm going to call him the Snake Whisperer, as they are. And here's the thing, because Xiao Tian is separated from his team, and he can't risk running across. That kill is most likely going to be secured. And it's going to put RG down to 1 player. But we've seen it happen from RG. We've seen them put out 1v4 clutch.
And that is also just an NA team, Team Omen Esports, prior known as Lights Out, playing really aggressive, looking for the kills, looking for opportunities, so they can flex that kill count. Also, Xiaotan, he has the information, he knows where he's prone at. Just Omen Esports not getting too aggressive, which they do go for the kills when they can get some, but they're not playing
they're on the edge of the circle. They're in circle, so they don't have to move, and that's the same as Xiaotan. He doesn't have to move. He does not have to move at all. But Team Secret, they are come together against the Formia.
They are trying to rush back up. They have the information, playing it pretty safe on this rush. They have the info, going to try and overwhelm him with shit. Oh, that's going to be Matic shut down with the AKM. That's once again Team Secret doing pretty well. Been the distance. War for Rio is going to be getting 2 nice angles. And that's going to be Team Secret also having a little bit of trouble securing.
Okay, look at this. Look at him. He's going in. He's joined that teammate. He's looking to get that flush. That second knockdown came through. They're going to be possibly able to get that squad right. That's going to be Team Secret taken out early on.
Maybe not. No, he's still got 1 member. He's throwing down. He has the information. Does flush it away. But there it is. That's going to be the end of a Team Secret losing the last member. First kill and first team out of the prelims.
Southeast Asian team knocked out early on. We talked about them being strong, but the Formia, this European team, not afraid, as this next phase came up and it went deep south. So that's actually going to help a lot of these teams a lot more. That did come up from the south.
We're moving away from Paradise Resorts, so now the number of compounds is going to be reduced again and again and again, making things a little bit more complicated for all of these teams as you have to try and focus back in. And Xiaotan, Lone Wolf, is just going to be trying to make his way back to maybe a good zone in the next circle, so he can actually try and avoid fights, because at that point, just don't pick the fights. Aim for positioning points that are going to be way more important for RG Star Team, as we do have a few shots fired by Team In. Once again, playing in India in their own little cozy studio, and shooting up to
boy!
Not really connecting too much.
I've got to say, he's using that tree to the best of his ability. We know how protective it can be, but it's also a small area, so when you peek from a tree, you do kind of slightly expose yourself a little bit more. But J7 from Pittsburgh Knights, they secure 1 kill. I've seen them, we saw in the VOD review, they're not afraid to frag out, so they're starting their kill feed in this game 1.
They are trying to get this started, boys and girls, as I'm just getting the Knights going to be trying to face up against each other in this compound. There's no really reason to fight it out. Just stay prone. If any teams try and come forward to the compound, defend it, but there's no reason to rush and use that utility this early on, because utility, grenades, smokes are going to be so important for the last circles. You want to try and keep it up as long as possible, as we're going to have 1 team out, and that's going to be Team End in 14th position. That's going to be very unfortunate for them. So Team Tigers, last Indian team left on Sanhok.
Yeah, 13 teams, 40 players live. Pittsburgh Knights, they occupy the compound. The grenade is going to come in over from Norway and from Purple Mood Esports, but it's only 2 members of Purple Mood. The Molotov came out, the return grenade came out, but didn't quite connect. So I think Pittsburgh Knights, they are in a really good position. They are a little bit spread, but they are looking very strong.
All rejection gaming again rejected by Nova Monster Shield, and I don't know, that was a really I was not expecting that kind of rush. Like, you do not have the information. You only open the circles getting pretty close together, so you're gonna have some teams a little bit scattered around. So you do not want to do these kind of moves, or you want to stay prone and try and play it sneaky as possible. Just like a Nova Monster Shield, that's what they're doing. But the circle's going to go up against Guanma, and he might get shut down by it.
A counter knockdown did come out from the side of All Rejection Gaming, so we do see Nova Monster Shield are down to 2 players, with one being put down. As that's going to be All Rejection Candy Z coming out. Is this going to be Nova Monster Shield being wiped out?
He wants it. He's looking for that kill, looking for the blood, and here it is. Gets the extra shutdown on AA from Nova Monster Shield, and that's it. Like, the snake, take the snake, you'll have the high ground. Even if you do not have any kind of protection, he didn't have a tree, didn't have a rock, and still was able to get the mental high ground on them.
So we do see with this next phase, it shifted eastwards. The formula, they have a long way to go. They have to cross the road. You do see Omen do have to go across the road. Top have to move across, so it's favoring heavily the side of Pittsburgh Knights, even though they are just outside the circle, so they have to push on to Purple Mood.
Careful, a few shots fired back and forth once again. I'm gonna have to see what's gonna happen out here though. Do have the formula. He's gonna snake it up, and they're gonna be having the last member of RD's star team. Yalchan trying to snake it in, but just gonna be taken down. 13th position going their way. Still a few points, but not as good as expected for the wildcard team. That's going to be Pittsburgh's Knights still holding the compound, and now they're going to have to start to move away because the compound is not quite in the circle.
I think Monarch was the sacrificial lamb for the side of Pittsburgh Knights, getting that level of vision. But we do see Zeus getting another knockdown, and Molotov is going to come out as they are really being protective of this compound.
He's defending that like an absolute beast. He's going to have the triumph for the surprise factor, but going to get instantly shut down again. That's going to be Pittsburgh Knight looking really damn good, and they will be able to take this compound for themselves. Now they did shift into the circle, which is what they were looking for, and now they can just be safe for the next few minutes and take their time.
Jagger has the moves like Jagger, one could say. Max, I had to get that reference in earlier, but Top get eliminated. They are down 12th place, 11 teams left, 25 players alive. I said these teams are going to come closer together. All Rejection Gaming, XQF. The grenades are coming out. I think that's a smoke grenade, as you do see inside of IT. Indian Tigers dominating.
Representing India right now, and they are trying to make their region proud. As you see though, Mimo from Team Omen, they are just in the distance and trying to regen back up and deal with the blue zone. But even if he gets in the circle, you have to go through Team Indian Tigers, and I think that might be the end of him right there, unfortunately. You have then Top Esports on the high ground. Does that seem to have the information on the formula? Might be able to do some work here, but though X-Quest Death, they're going to have some few casualties on their side.
Yeah, we did see Omen Elite get taken out in 9th place, but they did get a good few kills, so hopefully that will pay off when it comes to point standings point of view, as Pittsburgh Knights, the second NA team, are still pulling out strong moments, getting knocked down after knockdown. Fireboy looking for Indian Tigers.
X-Quest F, they're clapping right back, trying to pick a good fight. They won't go down that easily. Unfortunately, they are the favourites of this tournament. Indian Tigers having one member prone down. Did get knocked. Will he get flushed away? We'll have to wait and see. But there it is. That's going to be one team going to have 2 members down and just instantly taken away from the tournament in 8th position. And that is All Rejection Gaming. See you later, Japan. We'll see you next time.
I know we talked about Team Queso, right? But we haven't talked about them in this game. You know why? Because they've kept quiet. Because that's what they do. They've stayed on the edge of the line, and now, as we get into the final phases, the 6th or 7th phase, they're starting to come on fire. Jagger is on a kill streak, though. We do see him getting another knockdown as Top Esports. One member gets knocked down.
Yeah, he could have chucked that grenade over the rock, unfortunately trying to get a little bit of an extra angle. Not really working out for him. That's going to be Top Esport, having one member on the downside. And the second look at that shift is just, you have so little space to work with, and no buildings whatsoever almost, and just so many teams in such a small area because it is Sanhok. You have a lot of trees and rocks to work with, and once again the grass
just stay prone down, which is what most teams are doing. And this is when the game is going to slow down a little bit before like picking back up a pace.
Two teams that have 4 players still left alive. Team Queso, I'm not surprised, and Top Esports. Now, Top Esports have the circle, but they are split up a bit. Fireboy has knocked down 1 member of Indian Tigers, and knocked down Friday, Prince. So, the good side for Team Queso is that they are together. The negative is that they are kind of pinched between Team 7 and Team 6.
They're going to have to be very careful about that now.
The thing is, you can't shift really fast unless you use all your utility, because if you get up, every team is going to know where you are.
And you're going to get shut down instantly. So this is the game where early setups are going to become really impactful. Like Team Queso, they are starting to try and get into the circle ASAP, as we do have one team going to lose another member. And Nuke's on a kill streak of 3 kills going his way. Looking at damn good, my friend. We're down to 3 teams. Like Indian Tigers going to be eliminated instantly. Like everything just happened in just a snap of a finger. But here it is now. Oh, there it is. Top Esport just going to get a nice angle on Team Queso. They stayed a little bit too long on the side of the circle. And they do still have 1 member doing pretty well, but the circle damage at this point is just way too much to deal with. Mystic going to get shut down. That's going to be looking pretty damn good. But yes, he's just took Team Queso on his own and looking really damn good in the process. But now, be careful. He's trying to regen back up, trying to deal with the extra damage. He knows if he rushes to the circle, he's going to get instantly shut down. And here it is. X-Quest Dev still looking damn good. They have 2 members up. Paraboy going to be knocked away. Top Esports, a little bit too split, I think, but that's something that can be viable at this stage of the game.
They've made a payoff for now, but he spots him out. Kuboy is going to come out with another knockdown. That puts Top Esports down to 1 active player and 2 members being knocked down.
Yes, you took Team Queso on your own. Can you do it again, my boy? There it is. Yes, taking a lot of damage. Not going to get quite shut down, but here it is. Just a little extra damage output. That's going to be X-Quest F looking damn good. They are the favorite in the prelims for a reason, and that is because they clap some butts.
Okay, so Axel, I said he's the most aggressive player for Team Queso. Is he going to be able to 1v3? We're down to 2 teams, 4 players left alive. He's trying to revive. Is he playing the first aid game? He's gonna go down. That's XQF, X-Quest coming out on top.
If there was one team that was going to take game number 1, it was going to be X-Quest. Yeah. Still Team Queso, good strat until the end game. I think that also they did get surprised, but here it is. They are looking damn good. Cheesy plays will get you a 2nd position.
That's the thing, I talked about it. They play for position. That's their meta, that's their playstyle, and it's paid off. They did get a couple of kills. They took down Pittsburgh Knights in the later stages of that game, and it paid off because those first aids were able to come out when it came down to it, Maxman. But we can't deny XQF. They're coming into this preliminary finals as the favourites. It's a team that most of these teams do feel, and it's paid off. They're showing it, Maxman.
They've just been doing absolutely awesome. Still, I got to mention that we did have in 5th position a team Indian Tigers. Once again, they're playing their own studio in India, and they can feel really proud. They got a bunch of kills, 3 kills going their way, so they can still look damn good. But still, like that was just X-Quest F. Like really good positioning, really good synergy. Their micro and macro mechanics together are just that much higher than like the teams you saw in this first game, at least.
And I do want to throw a bit of a shout out to Top Esports, because I said that they were split up and I thought that would go against them in the later stages, but individually, particularly Fireboy, I gotta say he looked very good for Top Esports individually, and even as a team, even though they were split up, my opinion, it worked out.
It was really important, like really nice to see that this game we had like 2 different styles of meta, which was like playing on the edge of the circle. When in the circle there was most teams like Asian teams playing in the middle of the circle, then the edge circle, and the 2 last teams was one team that played on the edge and one team that played in the middle. So both play styles are 100% viable. Just depends how you play in the later stages.
And that's the thing, we did see in that game there was quite a few hard shifts towards the end. Maximum, we saw a few hard shifts, not just in one direction though. It was in like, you know, really different extreme directions where it went up northwards, then it went deep southwards, then it ping-ponged all over the place, and it was unfortunate for a couple of these teams. Pittsburgh Knights looked very strong for a lot of time. Then Team Queso came in, and as they had landed south, so they had a generally decent entrance, they took them out. So the circles, it was just something that went against some of these teams, but you can't deny what XQF and Top Esports did.
One team we're going to talk about a little bit is RG Starting. A little bit unlucky. We talked about them, I think, once again, Casticast. We talked too much well about this team, and it did go against them. But I think that here they've got to try and really work onto their drop location, and also I don't know if they did that much research on the teams, unfortunately, but like that drop location and also how they dealt with not having a good location to loot up. I think that's what shut them down a little bit. So maybe the next game that is going to be on Erangel should be going a little bit more their way, because they've been having a really good history on Erangel.
They've had great history on Erangel, but like I said, you know, before the start of the first game, like we saw from RG Star in regionals. In regionals, on the first day, even though they had the most chicken dinners in the 2 days, they didn't really have the strongest performances. But when it came down to it, in the end, they came out on top, and they came, well, not on top, but in second place to qualify for these preliminary finals. So it's only game one. We still have 5 more games today. We have 6 more games tomorrow. I have no doubt that we will see the best from RG. And one thing that we noticed is that as a team, they always seem to be positive. They always seem to be smiling. And in my opinion, a team that's happy and humble and positive to be here, that's going to show in game eventually.
Yeah, we just passed in front of them yesterday during the rehearsal, during the training, and they were just so nice. But when they're in the game, boom, super focused. They just have to do one thing. So I know that once again it's off to a bad start. There's no problem. It's just one game. We got a total of 12. So one game. What's one game over 12? It's 112.
Well, it's 112. That's one. Jesus, the maths OP. But one thing that I do think is going to be important to highlight is the fact that these teams realistically have 1, max 2 bad performances that they can allow themselves to have before it heavily affects them getting into the top 5, right? I know there's 5 spots available, so somewhat a little bit the teams feel a bit more comfortable, because compared to the regionals where there's only obviously 2 spots available, maybe 3 or 4 depending on the region, now there's 5, so they are a bit more comfortable. Every single team I talked to, they were happy that there's 5 spots available. But in my opinion, there's still only 1 or 2 bad performances you can allow yourself to have before it heavily affects your chances.
That's number 1 for RG right there.
Yeah.
Once again, a lot of games coming your way, which is really cool. Also, that today and tomorrow we're having a lot of diversity in the maps. We're having every single map. We're having 1 Miramar, 1 Vikendi, 1 Sandhog that just happened, and 3 Erangels, which I'm really happy to have. Erangels where the most action happens. The team's already used to it. So it's really fun to see what's going to happen. But anyways, we've got a small little interview coming your way taken to you by Gio.
And I'm here with Powerboy from XQuest F, who are the first team to get a chicken dinner today. So firstly, congratulations. Now, first of all, I have to say, coming into this competition, it has been spoken about a lot that you guys were the team to beat. Do you think that was the right assumption to make?
他们在问说，之前有很多舆论说，你们就是那个夺冠的队，你们觉得有没有什么想说的？觉得怎样？对整个舆论有什么感想？
我们整个队伍还是比较强的，有信心拿下此次冠军。
They're confident to get the champion today.
Oh, okay, wow. Well, one thing that was being noticed by the casters quite a lot is that the other teams were really trying to avoid you guys. Do you think that really helped with your success in this first game?
他问你有没有觉得，因为你们很强，所以其他队伍有在旁边躲你们，变成你们在场夺冠的原因？
其他队伍相对还是比较公平的，没有说什么避开我们之类的行动。
He think they didn't avoid them, that they are like fairly paid, and other team is like playing normally.
Okay, well, you sound pretty confident for the rest of the competition so far. What is a message that you'd like to send to all the other teams to sort of scare them away for the rest of the competition?
得说你整场比赛到现在都很淡定，你有没有什么话想跟别的队说，在之后的3场里面要跟他们有没有什么创话的话想说
？China #1.
I don't need any translating for that. Casters, you heard it. Back to you.
China #1, and they think they're going to take the title. If that is not confidence, I don't know what it is.
Like, I feel like that now, instead of these teams fighting for the chicken dinner, they're fighting for second place in every single game. Based on what we're hearing from XQF, it's amazing the level of confidence and what they're really saying to those guys. And something that Gio really brought up is and that we had initially mentioned, but I want to feature it again, is the fact that I do feel that if teams are looking to avoid XQuest, that's really going to help in the XQuest favor. And I don't think it's something that the team should be doing. The teams that do want to be aggressive, they should be chasing out XQuest. They should be looking to shut them down, because if you rattle the cages of XQuest, it's going to really, probably put them in their spot.
If we bond together, we might be able to do something against XQuest Dev. Okay, let's all play together, gamers. Epic gamer moment right there. But also XQuest Dev, when we did talk with them yesterday, they said a lot of teams have done research before going into the tournament and stuff like that. But they have not done any research on the team. So they're getting almost blindfolded, and it didn't stop them. It didn't pull them back whatsoever. And once again, confidence is key for XQuest Def, and they've been doing awesome. Game 1 going their way.
It's something that I bring up as I'm a team manager of a PUBG mobile team as well. And something I talk about and say to people is that the most important thing you need to do is focus on your own game and look how you can evolve and improve your game to get the best performance for your team. So that's what XQuest have done. But we see the results of game 1. Team Ind coming in 15th place, but still with 2 kill points. Or 2 placement points, sorry.
Yeah, once again, this is 15 teams, because we do not have From Hell here, and Team N not looking too good. 2 placement points going for them. And only in the lead, they get 4 kills.
I'm
in this lower section of the leaderboards, they got 4 kills. That's what allowed them to propulse themselves a little bit higher up than the other teams. Even on a bad performance, they did okay-ish. So we're just expecting that on the next game they can try and do a little bit better, try to have better positioning, because it's a very small map and a lot of teams are going to get shut down early on. That's what unfortunately happened to Omen.
It is, and it's something that they're going to build upon, right? They're going to realize that, okay, of the teams that finished from 9th to 15th, we got the most amount of kills, and that's going to help us driving forward. If they can improve their placement points, it's going to pay off. But we see first to 8th with of course XQuest coming out on top, 10 kill points, 40 points in total.
Chicken dinner and top kill count of the game. That's what you're looking for XQuest Def, as they're trying to take this #1 position, and once again, very, very confident. Still, you can see this leaderboard is very mixed.
Yeah.
You got some NA, you got some Asia, you got some India. I'm really enjoying it. I thought that maybe the Chinese meta would be a little bit more dominant. I guess I was wrong, but I'm happy about that. That means that really every single kind of meta I'm placed out in this first game, even though it's just the first game, are viable and can work out. So I'm really happy to see this entire shift in this first game.
Again, looking at the results of that game 1, you saw Top Esports. They got 8 kill points. That really overall that put them ahead of Team Queso, with the Formia getting 7 kill points themselves. So it shows a difference. Like Team Queso, they finished in 2nd place, but they did only get 4 kill points. It's something that even though they play for placement, if they can be maybe a little bit aggressive in the time that they know they can and add to those kill points, it will heavily affect their chances going into future games.
Look at that, we have now a kill leaderboard, and Cowboy going up with 5 kills, and he got half of the kills of his team. And Coolboy, but he got half of the kills of his team on his own. That shows how much of a threat that guy is. That means there's one guy on the side of XQuest Def that did not get any kills.
Wow, okay, wow.
Burnt shade right there. But,
being carried. But look at this, the damage leader, Powerboy, Coolboy, top 2, 900 damage and 600 damage apiece. Most notably, Powerboy with over 950 damage. Really was a man on a mission to help his team get first place.
That's almost enough to kill 10 members after without any shield, but that is a really nice performance for game 1 from XQuest Def once again. You can see, even in the leaderboards, even in
just the damage leaderboards and the kill leaderboards. It's very diverse. You've got people from every single team, from every single region, which I'm really liking. But here's the head-to-head Imperium. It is XQuest Def against your, once again, your Dark Horse team, Team Kesso, and pretty close together.
But look at that damage difference.
The damage difference,
2,221 damage from XQuest and 565 from Queso. You know, it's something that I fear could go against Queso later on in the games as the teams around them build up confidence, become a bit more aggressive within themselves. But this is the head-to-head between Top and Deformia. It's a little bit more even, although still Top Esports getting 1,691 damage.
That's not too shabby. It's not too far away from a few of the top teams there. Deformia, Meditari, they got 4th position.
Getting 1,691 damage.
That's not too shabby. It's not too far away from a few of the top teams there. Deformia, Meditari, they got 4th position, which is still really good. Once again, they are the last team in Europe, so they have to, like, a lot on their shoulders today, Imperium, for them. And then kills, they got 7 kills, which is still really, like, these two teams have been doing great in my opinion. A little bit less damage coming out from Deformia, Meditari, so they've got really, like, very by the play kind of play style, like by the book kind of play style. Just go in, get the kill, get the flush, nothing extra going on, not long fights from long ranges.
Yeah, and again, as we get down to the table between 5th and 6th, Indian Tigers, Pittsburgh Knights, again, a lot more even, 765 damage from Indian Tigers and 576 from Pittsburgh Knights. What is interesting is out of 576 damage and those 3 kills, all of them was Jagger. All of those kills came out from Jagger. So something maybe tells me that they did players around them not to, you know, throw a bit of a, you know, be a bit of a devil's advocate, but maybe they need to step up.
Oh, there it is. Hey, what's up?
Oh no! Oh, did you just dab?
What are you just
Did you just dab?
We were having so much fun until that.
Okay, that's
okay,
fine.
I'm out. Goodbye.
End the broadcast. But either way, no. This is the highlights of this game. You see that what Zute did against RG Star. Something that I didn't really talk about, like using grenades to your advantage to secure a knockdown, to secure a kill, is so important, and these players need to kind of realize that, because it's something that is very meta in the PUBG PC scene. So if they can really transfer that to the PUBG mobile scene, it can help your team make a big difference.
That's when Jagger, there you are. Yeah. You're talking about Jagger. That was one hell of a compound rush against Purple Mood Gaming, and they had a really good performance. That was so nice rush from Team India. And that shot, XQuest Def, just getting a really nice angle, shutting down Top Esports. And this is a very nice car. I like that car.
Okay. Is that one of the new PUBG mobile vehicles? But either way, yeah, so we saw through those brief highlights that there was some noticeable teams really, of course, making a big impact in this game. But again, like, these are teams that have never played against each other, Max, and these are teams that are all playing on new devices, because they are playing on the fantastic Next phone. And they are in a live event, which a lot of teams, it's their first time there. So there's so much that they need to get comfortable with. There's so much warming up that they need to do. So as you get through these games, I really think we are going to see a few of these teams that have had a bad performance game one really start to pull in their performances and pull it out in terms of getting those strong positions going into future games.
This was just game one on Sandhawk, so maybe some teams are not very comfortable. It's a very aggressive team, so the teams that play a little bit more passive, they didn't have the time to shine. So that's going to be something on Erangel that's going to completely shift, because the map this is the biggest map that we have. One of the biggest maps on the game is Miramar. So the playstyle is going to be even more passive early on, and then it's just going to get even better and better. I just can't wait for that to work out.
It is super exciting stuff coming up. 5 more games today, 6 more games tomorrow, 11 more games in total. It's going to get damn wild, Max.
Just can't wait to see what's going to happen. So I don't know what
we're going to go for a bit of a quick break, prepare these players, get them ready, get the map loaded in, and then we will be back to you guys in a couple of minutes. Don't go away.
Disruptions getting in your way? Focus up with competition mode. Up your game with the Vivo V15 series. Vivo.
PUBG Mobile Team Deathmatch. A quick game for those short breaks. There is a
हो सकते हो बैंक हो सकते फॉलो कर
Bring up voice chat.
हाँ बोले
Let's go. Form up on me. Help!
Help
Help!
perché al cronometrino
Help!
Potrino
Help!
नीचा 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 अरे नीचा आना है और ऊपर खड़े आप पाओगे लोग तक डिस्प्ले ले रहा हूँ लोग पिछले सीजन 6 में किया एंड सीजन 6
I need ammo.
Sorry, that's one minute. Ini kan mana? Apa tu nama dia? Ini ada nama kecil. Approach tu. Approach tu. Jadi ada waktu apa yang dilakukan? Waktu ini baru nak kerja, baru apa ni? Harus suruh jadi kerja. आगे मत गिरा लोकेशन मार्क कर देना
I got supplies.
सत्ते
Bring up voice chat.
आधा प्लेयर भारी हमने लिखड़ा है अड़ता
Let's go.
आओ मित्र तो रहा हूँ ओहो Nego ipile rहा itu kelar itu please kan itu please itu dan akan mar dua itu itu मिली है ये डेस्क का स्नाइपर का झगड़ा कर रहा हूँ चल शूटिंग रेंज ले लो अड़ जाओ इन पेट में मेरे को प्लेयर का
Enemies ahead.
बोझ था वो मर गया उनको छोड़ना है बताना तुम्हें और बनाना कैसे दूर हो चुका है कभी दूर
I got supplies. Let's go. I need a scope.
भाई रेड डॉट दे दे यार
supplies.
बैठ जा भाई, बैठ जा।
चल अपन तो रेडी। अरे चल पीछे जोर जो ले लो भाई, जोर जो ले ले, चल मारेंगे पड़ा नहीं। हाँ चल याडा ले ले गोली, पुलिस मेरे सामान में लगा याडा गणी गोली पाऊंगे याडा। आज की बात एक भी टमाटर
I got supplies. I got supplies. I need ammo. Enemies ahead. Enemies ahead. Let's go.
सत्य मार इसके, सत्य मार इसके, सत्य रुक रहे हो। वो तो मर गया, उसका मार मार, उसका मार, गाड़ी अड़के, गाड़ी दूरा भागा वो। रिवाइव दे, रिवाइव दे, आजा आजा, रिवाइव दे। आओगा उल्टा होगा, आओगा उल्टा होगा। चल मैं देखूं, रिवाइव दे तू। ये ट्रेनिंग देख के आगे लेकर चलो। बहुत बढ़िया भाई।
क्या हुआ भाई इसमें?
देख ही रहे थे कुछ बेचारे पापा बाल कर देते हैं आपको मिल गए। दिखता रहा सबको दिखता रहा। मर गया हूँ ना ये हमारा चाहिए नीचे था लिया
Get to the safe zone ASAP. Get to the safe zone ASAP. Get to the safe zone ASAP. Enemies ahead. Get to the safe zone ASAP. Get to the safe zone ASAP. Let's go.
Oh.
Form up on me.
वो मर गया देख जोन तो मर गया वो नासा स्टोन अच्छा ना भाई याद है देखने लग रहा है मैच देखना है अच्छे देख उधर मैं सकते तू 20 सर्कल के बाहर पे खवा ले लग रहे सो मारना उसके बाद
There's an ambush. Play it safe. There's an ambush. Play it safe. Watch for vehicles.
ये सारे तो किल लगे हैं जनरली टाइप खुद बैठ कर खेल Oh, चुप हो क्यों हो रहा है दो मैच लगातार ये सेशन में एक्सटेंडेड भी है पर हम सोचते दूसरी खेल पाएंगे ये आपके को मार गया उनको बता दूं
I got supplies.
ऊपर निकाल लेंगे
Enemy! मुझे तो पता नहीं है
मुझे किया तो पक्का बात निकल साइड में कंटेनर के पीछे ये लगा दे और नीचे भी करो
Let's go.
तो कूद रहा है यार उसमें कर दिया आता है तो कंटेनर के उसके लिए जरा बहुत स्लो कर रहा था और दूसरा गाना भी गया है दूसरा गाना नीचे है इसका नीचे है कंटेनर के पीछे ही लेना था ऊपर तक लग रहे हैं ऊपर लग रहे हैं
Get to the safe zone ASAP.
मुझे कंटेनर के पीछे से और तब निकल भागा चल हमारे साथ जाएंगे इधर अपना तो बाबा ग्रेड कर दो कितने लग रहा है No, no está rata solo. Drop para la
इधर करने डेट ऊपर का इधर पे भी है सर एक जगह एक वो भी तक चला वो लूट लो और बनाओ बस शिक्षक वगैरह सही है ना जोन के बाद में मरो बस और भी चाहिए नहीं jump. Load कर रहा है इसमें जिसको ले रहा है क्लियर कर दो और भी तो चलाऊंगा बस ये का सप्रेसर भी लगा तो स्लो करिए नहीं तो बस चला लेंगे लास्ट वाला चला देते शूटिंग रेंज में चला ले बस शूटिंग रेंज में चला ले ये क्या था मुझे बग्गी था ना बग्गी रही तो चला ले राइट में राइट चलो आगे चला के शुरू में तब दिख तो कोई लिखना है बस चला गाड़ी एक पानी जो चला रहा है
There's an ambush. Play it safe.
ये बड़ा सा करेंगे ऐसे बाहर करते हैं खाना देते यार पूरी छात खाना पड़ गया इसमें इसके ऊपर जो ड्रॉप कर किदाम ऊपर किदाम
Enemy! 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 Enemy!
गिरेगा पहले आगे
Get the airdrop supplies! Get the airdrop supplies! Get the airdrop supplies!
इसमें ना होगा इसको आदमी ये इसमें इधर का करके ऊपर करके ऊपर आवाज जोड़ बना है तो
No!
ना भाई को ना भाई की जल्दी करा देते अरे इसके ऊपर बैठना मैंने गाड़ा बैठना है
किधर बैठ सकते
बताऊंगा अपनी देखा वो क्लियरिटी ऊपर आ गए कितना रेडी भेज दिया कभी शॉट हो गया
वो दिया जो देना है
नहीं दे रहा कुछ भाड़ा था वो इसको दे रहा मैंने मेरे दृश्य राउंड डाउन पर आता है दृश्य मेरे अपने देवी तो मर गया गाड़ी से पड़ गया बस बात है
Enemy! Enemies ahead! Get to the safe zone ASAP! Get to the safe zone ASAP! Let's go!
बहुत ज़्यादा लैग कर रहा है भाई वीडियो में तो
Enemies ahead.
बाइक में जोर लग गया प्राण दे रहे थे कोई ऊपर बाहर आ रहा है सारे ये यहाँ पर अच्छा कुछ यार मेरे को पूरे स्पॉट मारी थी ini Nabi Papa Jatim kedua Sudine oke भैया